The draft National Telecom Policy 2025 outlines six critical missions which align with the overall vision of the document. The very first mission is universal and meaningful connectivity. Now, to achieve that, there are 14 goals outlined, and the very first goal talks about 100% 4G coverage by 2030, and at the same time, 90% coverage of 5G, coverage of population. Now, to my understanding, this is a bit strange why we want to pursue both the networks by 2030, because there is a very strong overlap between the two technologies, at least for users and from users' point of view. If we look at what we are doing with 5G, it's pretty much the same what we used to do with 4G. So 5G has not been able to add anything from significantly in terms of use case so far. And there is still need to look into monetization of 5G and need to do more R&D to create use cases and as well as innovation. So when that is the case, why should we still focus on 4G and continue to invest in it? Because obviously resources are scarce, and why do we want to split resources, efforts, and energy pursuing both the technologies when we know that eventually 4G will, phase out? I understand 2G still remains important, and maybe by 2030 it still would be significant enough because we have to take care of the bottom of the pyramid. So that still adds value. But pursuing and continuing with 2G, 4G, 5G in 2030 makes we should think about it. Because at the same time, by 2030, we would be at advanced trials of 6G, or we may be even, at the early commercialization of 6G as a technology and working towards it. And we need money for that. The entire telecom fraternity and ecosystem, the sector needs money itself. There's huge investment required. 5G in itself requires, a lot of money out there. So it might be prudent if we just have a revisit of this goal and think of why can't we just pursue 5G by 2030, try to achieve 100% 5G coverage by 2030, because that will, one, give us lots of resources to focus only on 5G, and at the same time, enough resources to invest into future, which is 6G. That's what I had to share about the policy today. I'll be back with you in another episode talking about another milestone of the policy.